This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 8th day of January in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. 2 years after the Brigdam police station was completely gutted by fire, the government today turned the sod for the start of construction of a new $28.1 million building. The Basu Building and Civil Engineering Company has won the contract for the police station's reconstruction. This time around, the Central Police Station will be state-of-the-art and is expected to have a total of 12 stories with a number of modern amenities and security features. Several policing departments will also be housed at the new building. President Irfan Ali, who witnessed the signing in the presence of the Home Affairs Minister Robeson-Ben and the Commissioner of Police Acting Clifton Hicken, said the construction of the modern edifice is part of his government's overarching plan to strengthen the country's security architecture.
For the security architecture, for the national security architecture to function in a holistic way, in a comprehensive way, and in unison, it requires every facet of the security apparatus of the country to function in a seamless way. So the security architecture is linked to the security apparatus. The security apparatus is basically all facets of our security structure in the country working in an integrated way.
President Ali also said as part of the security architecture, Guyana will establish a marine division within the Guyana Police Force.
We are building out for the first time a marine division that would be capable of utilizing our river asset in crime positioning, crime fighting, and proactive intelligence work. So right now we're in the process of acquiring state-of-the-art marine asset to support the work of the Guyana Police Force. Outside of this, we are building an air capacity and capability for the Guyana Police Force that will be integrated with the Guyana Defense Force, because we're going to move a lot of our air capacity and capability to the new hangar at Ogle that the Guyana Defense Force is constructing and rehabilitating right now.
And the new facility will also be equipped with important assets to advance the country's crime-fighting capabilities. President Ali said the government is integrating the assets of the security and defense arms to maximize their use.
In the Guyana Police Force, for example, we will have an integration between the chopper, the seacraft, what I call the seacraft capability, the air capability, and the land capability. Of course, in the land capability, we're already investing heavily in bikes, in the motor vehicles, in buses, in ATVs. So we are building that capability out.
He said attention will also be placed on the police force's human resource asset. The president said it is his government's intention to relocate the majority of the services at the police headquarters Eve Larry to the Brigdam police station. Such a move will allow for the force's administration to transform the facilities at Eve Larry into a world-class police academy that will serve the country and the region. He emphasized that the developments unfolding in the Guyana Police Force must not be viewed in isolation to the developments unfolding in the national security architecture. According to the president, the national security architecture is not only about crime fighting, but also about developing and maintaining a safe and peaceful society. The Home Affairs Minister Robeson-Ben, in his address, underscored the importance of the police working together to achieve the force's objectives.
Even now, at this time, in recognizing that we are at the most propitious moment in Guyana's history and in its development, we have to rise all of us at the tasks which are required to move our country forward to the better place which is deserving for the Guyanese people. The much better place which is deserving for the Guyanese people, taking us beyond our differences, beyond our difficult and indescribable in many ways history, That is what our president, our government, the cabinet is about.
Meanwhile, the contractor Roy Basu of Basu Building and Civil Engineering explained that the station will be built in partnership with Quinn Ginn & Company. He said the companies will work to have the station completed well within a 30-month construction time frame and in keeping with international standards. More news coming up in just a moment.
My lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup.
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
It's your time to win big. The Massey Store's Christmas jackpot promotion is back and bigger than before. Spend $5,000 at any Massey Stores to be the lucky winner of a brand new MGZS and fantastic weekly store prizes from now until January 31st, 2024. What are you waiting for? Head to your nearest Massey Stores to shop now. See our Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Massey Stores, our family serving your family.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Twice the fun. Twice the thrill. On your next trip with Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama and enjoy 2 vacations in one at no additional airfare. Because to live life at its fullest, first you have to stop. So next time you fly Copa Airlines, stop over in Panama at no additional airfare.
Let's tell you now the U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Western Hemisphere, Daniel Erickson, is currently in Guyana to advance bilateral defense and security partnership talks between Guyana and the U.S. In a statement, the U.S. Embassy here in Georgetown said Mr. Erickson's visit underscores the continued importance that the U.S. places on the US-Guyana bilateral defense and security partnership in support of regional stability. Mr. Erickson is responsible for U.S. defense and security policy for the 34-nation region that encompasses Canada, Mexico, the Caribbean, and South and Central America. During his 2-day visit, which started today, Erickson is scheduled to meet with government officials, the top brass of the Guyana Defense Force, and CARICOM officials to discuss the U.S. defense and security partnership with Guyana and regional partners. Weighing in on the visit by the high-level U.S. official, President Irfan Ali said the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense's visit forms part of the government's plan to build robust military partnerships with its bilateral and multilateral partners.
Of course, I've made it very clear that we have a very robust partnership with the U.S. and with other partners, and the Guyana Defense Force is working ahead of pace, I would say, in building out this relationship, building out this structure. We're going to have greater integration, we're going to have consolidation of our resources, and we're going to have massive training opportunities and joint activities as we work together in building our capability and enhancing national and regional security.
The U.S. and Guyana have a long-standing security partnership marked by strong collaboration between Southcom and the Guyana Defense Force, which is focused on disaster preparedness, humanitarian assistance, maritime security, human rights, professional development, defense, and public security missions, and countering transnational crime. While the U.S. defense official is only in Guyana for 2 days, President Ali said the discussions will continue beyond his visit, not only with the U.S. but other important partners.
This has been the subject of discussions with Southcom, with the UK, with France, with Canada, with the US, with RSS.
The U.S. Embassy said Mr. Erickson's visit to Guyana is his first trip overseas for this year. And according to the embassy, it is an indication of the high level of importance to the bilateral defense and security partnership between the two countries, as the GDF continues to grow in the short term with robust military-to-military engagements, and in the long term as the nation continues to modernize its defense institutions. Guyana is also working with the United Kingdom as it develops its defense architecture. Just recently, a military vessel, the HMS Trent, was deployed to Guyana by the British Ministry of Defense to participate in joint military exercises. The vessel has been in the Caribbean region assisting with drug eradication exercises, but has since been reassigned to Guyana. The move by the British government follows on its statement of support of Guyana following Venezuela's recent acts of aggression and increased claims of Guyana's Essequibo. Venezuela has objected to the visit by the British Navy vessel. Former U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo arrived in Guyana early this morning for what has been described by President Irfan Ali as a private visit. Mr. Pompeo, who served in the last Donald Trump U.S. administration, visited Guyana just after the election of the PP Civic in 2020. In the aftermath of the Guyana 2020 elections, he had issued a number of statements calling on then-President David Granger to concede and get out of office, while threatening visa sanctions against members of the last government over the controversy that erupted with the Region 4 vote declarations and the recount that went on for 5 months. In 2021, a few months later, Pompeo, as a member of the Donald Trump administration in the U.S., found himself at the center of the then U.S. president's refusal to accept the results of his own election, triggering riots that saw the U.S. Capitol being overrun by a mob of supporters, leading to chaos and death. Pompeo was criticized by U.S. lawmakers, many from his own political party, over his decision to stick by Donald Trump, eventually distancing himself long after. The reason for his current visit is tightly sealed, but news source understands that it may be related to some consultations on security matters. This morning, President Irfan Ali told reporters that he's expecting a courtesy visit from the former U.S. Secretary of State.
I think Secretary Pompeo is on a private visit, and we have a courtesy discussion. You know, Secretary Pompeo played a very important role in ensuring that Guyana stayed the course of democracy, which was very, very key when the last government tried to steal an election and steal democracy. You remember that? So he is visiting, so it's a courtesy meeting. Of course, he's very keen. He's always been very keen on the development of Guyana. I've seen him making many statements, even in the latest threat with Venezuela, making statements. I saw him on Fox News alluding to the issue. So his interest in Guyana and development of Guyana has always been very, very strong.
The U.S. Embassy has not offered any information on the visit of the former high-ranking U.S. government official. Veteran Guyanese and Caribbean trade unionist Lincoln Lewis has issued a call for St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, to be removed as the interlocutor of any discussion between Guyana and Venezuela on the border controversy. Last week, the St. Vincent Prime Minister wrote to President Irfan to explain that a photograph which surfaced of him standing behind a map of Venezuela, which included Guyana's Essequibo region, was taken in December of 2022, and he was unaware of the depiction with the map until recently. The government of Guyana appears to have accepted the explanation, with Vice President Barra Jagdeo even referencing photographs that he has taken before with questionable characters. But trade unionist Lincoln Lewis, in a letter to the press, said the Ghanaian government needs to rethink its position on having the St. Vincent Prime Minister continue as an interlocutor. Mr. Lewis said President Ali's government is called on to rethink its position on the continued presence of Gonzales. All Guyanese, he said, must demand he removes himself, for he's a clear and present threat to Guyana's territorial integrity. Lewis said the issue cannot just be swept aside as a mistake on the part of the Prime Minister of St. Vincent. He said, error or no error, the stakes are too high to permit the presumed mistake of Gonzales to think it is even possible. He said he was not careful enough, and Gonzales had a right to know what he was holding up and what it represented. He also questioned the reason behind the St. Vincent Prime Minister and the Prime Minister of Dominica remaining as permanent interlocutors on the discussions between Guyana and Venezuela, even after they no longer hold a position as President of CELAC and Chairman of CARICOM. St. Vincent and the Grenadines hosted a meeting last month between the Presidents of Guyana and Venezuela, giving birth to the Argyle Declaration in the height of mounting tensions between the two countries over Venezuela's continued claims of Guyana's Essequibo region and its ongoing objection to the case filed by Guyana before the International Court of Justice. With a recent spike in fires across the country, the Guyana Fire Service is again encouraging homeowners to install smoke detectors and alarms in their homes. On Saturday, the fire service found itself responding to 5 fire reports within a 24-hour period. At around 2 o'clock on Saturday morning, a one-flat wooden building, which was under construction and owned by a 21-year-old man in Sophia, was reduced to ashes. Investigators suspect that the fire was maliciously set. By 9:20 on the same Saturday morning, firemen from the Lenora Fire Station rushed across the concrete street Lenora on the west coast after a motor car burst into flames. The cause was listed as a ruptured fuel line. And just before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the Eccles Fire Station on the east bank of the Marara responded to a blaze at a house in Agricola. The fire service said an electrical circuit overload led to the destruction of a 2-story building there in Agricola, leaving a 36-year-old woman and her family homeless. On Saturday afternoon, the same firefighting team faced another challenge after receiving reports of a fire at Providence on the east bank of the Marara. The fire service reported that the 2-story building, owned by an 80-year-old, was completely gutted. The firemen managed to contain the blaze to the one building. The owner's grandson, 28-year-old Seth Passad, has been left homeless. He reported that no one was at home at the time of the blaze. An investigation into the cause of that fire is ongoing. And Saturday concluded with a late-night response to reports of a fire at South Vrijslas on the east coast of the Marara. The fire service said 6 persons were left homeless after the fire completely destroyed a 2-story building. And an initial investigation has pointed to an overloaded electrical circuit board as the cause. The Guyana Fire Service is this evening urging citizens to be vigilant and prioritize fire safety and prevention.
Be my decor, stock the finest in the country, both ceramic and porcelain, ties and chandeliers you'll see while you shop around stress-free. Well-trained staff at warming halls make your shopping smooth and calm, providing you with quality to match your style is so unique. Be my decor.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. Anyone who will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more is eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted a preliminary list of electors, PLE, at popular locations in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether your particulars or that of other electors are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday, the 22nd of January 2024. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo. From its pristine rivers to its abundant resources, it's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31st, 2023, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you are required to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Monday, 15 January 2024 is the last day on which you can apply for a transfer. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-0278-9 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
A row over a cell phone turned deadly on Saturday night when a 29-year-old laborer was stabbed to death by a businessman. Police investigators have identified the dead youth as Otis Hamichan of Nabakalis on the east coast of Demerara. The suspect is a 36-year-old businessman from Haslington on the same east coast of Demerara. He is on the run. A police report of the incident indicated that at around 9 o'clock on Saturday night, the two men got into a heated confrontation that was continuing from earlier in the day. During that Saturday night confrontation, the two got into a scuffle that quickly escalated. When Hamichan attempted to escape, he was chased by the businessman, who stabbed him to the chest before escaping from the scene. The youth collapsed and was rushed to the Georgetown Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead. A post-mortem examination is to be conducted on his body. The police said a number of eyewitnesses were questioned and an active search is on the way for the suspect. Executive member of the People's National Congress Reform and recently appointed Guyana ambassador to Venezuela, Dr. Richard Van West Charles, is uncertain about his future in the PNC Reform, which was founded by his father-in-law, late President Forbes Burnham. Dr. Van West Charles was appointed Guyana's ambassador to Venezuela by the PP civic government and will take up his position in 2 weeks. During a recent interview with News Source, he said he's no longer being invited to, nor does he take part in meetings of the PNC Reform. Asked whether he has plans on leaving the party completely, Van West Charles said whenever that time comes, he will make a decision in his best interest.
Look, at this juncture for me, what is important is where the nation goes and the quality of life for our people. my vision is that of a national vision. You know, and as I said, country always takes precedence to any other orientation that we may have.
Dr. Richard Van West Charles contested the last biennial Delegates Congress of the PNC reform and lost out on the leadership position to now opposition leader Aubrey Norton. He was, however, appointed advisor to the PNC leader, but that relationship soured within months of his appointment. He is no longer serving in that role, and his relationship with the party leader has gone downhill. He said he is not pleased with some public statements that Mr. Norton has been making in respect to him.
What I would say is that there has been he has made some public statements with respect to me, and I found them distasteful, and I'm not going to belabor those points. So I am focused on what I have to do in this role. I'm a Guyanese, and I am going to work very hard to ensure that Guyana has its rightful place.
Norton has referred to Dr. Van West Charles as an ex-colleague of the PNC and has referenced his management of the water sector under the former APNU-AFC government, saying that he performed well in that role. Back in 2011, Dr. Richard Van West Charles joined the Alliance for Change, but eventually ditched that party and returned to the PNC. The government is currently in talks with the stakeholders of the Berbice River Bridge Company to see how best the administration can have a greater say in the operations of the bridge. Once finalized, President Irfan Ali on Sunday said it will pave the way for the reduction of tolls to cross the Berbice Bridge. The president's remarks were made during the sod-turning exercise for a New Amsterdam hospital in Region 6.
We are in the process at the policy level of formulating a plan to work with investors in the Berbice Bridge to have the government play a greater role, because now we have to carry the maintenance costs, and all of this is aimed to make it much easier and cheaper for you to cross the Berbice River. That is coming very soon.
And boasting of his government's achievements in the Region 6 communities, the president said the East Berbice Quarantine region has seen one of the biggest government investments in the last 3 years, explaining that his government has launched a massive infrastructure and housing drive in the region. In addition, he announced that the government is also planning to have a new bridge constructed across the Berbice River.
That is why we are accelerating the plans for a fixed bridge across the fixed high crossing bridge across the Berbice River, just like the one now in the Cameron River.
The president also said the governments of Guyana and Suriname are in the final process of signing an agreement for the bridge across the Quarantine, linking the two neighboring countries. 39-year-old Puerto Rico resident Guruddin Lalaram was charged and remanded to jail last Thursday for the murder of his 25-year-old wife, Parbati Posada. The man appeared at the Lenora Magistrates Court before Magistrate Zamila Ali Sepal, and he was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. He is accused of using a piece of wood and beating his wife, Parbati Posada, to death along the Puerto Rico Access Road. The woman was a vendor and was on her way to the market on the morning of December 31, Old Year's Day, when the incident occurred. The beating death was video recorded on a mobile phone by an eyewitness who was shouting at the man to stop. The woman, Parbati Posada, had reportedly complained to persons about the man's abusive ways, but would always stay with him. The accused is expected back in court on the 2nd of February for the continuation of his case.
Are you looking to start or advance your career with one or more of our world-class associate, bachelor, or master's degrees in 14 specializations from the comfort of your home worldwide? Then look no further than the University of Excellence Management in Business, UEMB. We are affordable, accessible, flexible, multi-world-class, internationally accredited and recognized, and locally recognized by NAC Guyana as a tertiary degree-granting college. For more details on our no-strings-attached 60% scholarship and our payment plan, please call 225-1395, 225-1397-9, 681-3434, or 618-3434. Visit our administrative office in the Critchlow Labor College Front Building, Wolford Avenue, Georgetown, Guyana. Progressing to a degree is as easy as ABC with UEMB. Deal with the best and forget the rest.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2023, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE for all registration divisions at popular locations across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration if you are not listed, change correction to your particulars if they are incorrect, or object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Monday the 15th of January 2024. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Monday the 22nd of January 2024. All GCOM registration offices will be open Mondays to Fridays from 8 hours to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 hours to 14 hours. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027-829 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce and pet supplies, freshly made bread, rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, Colombia and Ecuador broke up a criminal organization responsible for sending up to 5 tons of cocaine per month to the US and Europe and captured the Colombian brothers in charge, the two countries said on Sunday. Colombian police said the Los Curva criminal organization generated more than $2 billion a year in profits from the trade. According to Reuters, a year-long police operation culminated on Saturday with the capture of the Colombian brothers, Heider and Darren Cuero, leaders of Los Curva, the country said. Heider Cuero is wanted by the United States on drug trafficking charges. Colombia is considered the world's leading producer of cocaine, an illegal business that finances guerrilla groups and criminal gangs. With only 8 days into 2024, 4 unrelated murders between Saturday evening and Sunday afternoon have pushed Trinidad and Tobago's murder toll to 13, according to Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. In the latest incident of violence, a 26-year-old loader was gunned down after working on carnival booths around the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain on Sunday. Police said Akil Archer was in a tray of a brown Mazda truck on a paved area when a white 4-door pickup truck drove in the path of the vehicle, blocking it. Gunmen got out of the white truck as Archer jumped out of the tray and ran to a grassy area nearby. He was chased and shot by the gunmen, who got back in their vehicle and sped off. When Guardian media visited the scene, Officers of the Central Police Station questioned workers and passers-by as crime scene investigators collected evidence. One man who was nearby when the shooting began said he felt that Archer was the intended target, noting that other workers nearby were ignored. And finally tonight, international news. Canada, Britain, Sweden, and Ukraine on Monday formally complained to the United Nations Aviation Council in their bid to hold Iran accountable for the downing of a passenger airliner in January 2020 that killed 176 people, they said on Monday. Reuters in a report said most of the dead were citizens from the four nations, which created a coordination group that seeks to hold Iran to account. In a statement, the countries indicated that they have jointly initiated dispute settlement proceedings before the International Civil Aviation Organization against the Islamic Republic of Iran for using weapons against a civil aircraft in flight. Last June, the four nations said they would take their case to the International Court of Justice. Iran says its Revolutionary Guards accidentally shut down the Boeing 737 jet and blamed a misaligned radar and an error by the air defense operator at a time when tensions were high between Tehran and Washington. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.